Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. She's a young mom.
My son's girlfriend is manipulative, conniving, fake.
She's her future mother-in-law.
You don't talk, you spit words out. You're just spewing venom.
Because I have a lot of venom in me.
Did you grab her by the hair and snatch her up off the couch?
Absolutely.
The baby was sitting in my lap.
No, the baby was not.
You decided to attack her.
I snatched her up off the couch. Yes, I did. I will make a scene. Yes, I will.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Take a look. This is Victoria. She's 19 years old, a new mom to an adorable 6-month-old boy, and is in love with her fiance, Connor. Seems pretty innocent, right? What's not to love about Victoria? Well, according to her future mother-in-law, Megan, plenty. Listen to this.
My son's girlfriend, Victoria, is a manipulative, conniving, fake, rude, disrespectful, inconsiderate bitch.
Well, certainly has a turn of phrase, does she not? Connor says he is stuck in the middle with women wanting him to pick a side. It's either Mom Megan or fiance Victoria. Let's listen.
My mother hates my girlfriend, Victoria, and she cut me off from the family because of her.
My son Connor and I used to be inseparable. Victoria came into the picture, and he completely changed.
The last time I saw my mother, she screamed at me and told me to leave my tramp and to get my dog in check. She met my girlfriend.
Connor's mother, Megan, is a two-faced liar.
I blame Victoria for the fact that Connor dropped out of school. She left her high school to attend his high school in another county. Connor dropped out of school because of her jealousy. She entrapped him, thinking that his inheritance was going to go to him monetarily, and it's not. It's educational inheritance.
Megan is using Connor to use his inheritance for her own home remodeling.
My mother got the money to buy a house on an acre property. She redid her bathroom with a huge jacuzzi, and she did the second bathroom and now her kitchen, which has marble countertops.
Connor and Victoria blow money. She is all the time buying clothes. Connor's all the time buying things. New shoes, new clothes. Hello, kids, you have a child.
I can't be with Connor if his mother is in his life. Connor's mom is crazy and she needs help.
I just want my family to get along.
Okay, so your son, Connor, is getting ready to make a huge mistake, in your opinion.
Absolutely.
And already has in terms of having a child with this girl.
Well, at 16, 17, yes, that's a mistake.
Well, but you would think it would be a mistake no matter what age because of her.
Yes.
Did she trap him into this?
I believe she did.
How so?
She made a phone call to the attorney, a state attorney, in reference to Connor's education, convinced his minor brother to try to call the attorney to obtain a $300,000 home for them. So I believe that's entrapment right there, that she is after the money, and that's all she sees is money signs.
Is that true?
I do not have the guts to do that.
She just said you called this estate attorney.
No, I've never called her and talked to her in my life.
That's not what I got when I called her.
I like to deal with the facts here, and people get to flying accusations around, and you said some pretty strong stuff. You came out and said, you know, she's just a gold-digging bitch, essentially.
Yes.
And then I asked her, she said, I've never talked to this attorney ever. So are you just making that up? Or
no,
what?
I spoke to the attorney in reference to Victoria's comment, you're getting out of the house. The house belongs to the children. It is not your house. You are not entitled to it. And the attorney quickly said, yes, I've heard that story. Connor has called me several times.
That's not what you said. You said she called the lawyer.
That's what the attorney...
And then you just told me that the attorney said Connor, that she talked to Connor.
Yes, Victoria had called, and then she called Connor back himself, and Connor never returned the phone call back until at a later date.
Is this your lawyer?
Yes, sir, it is.
Has Victoria called?
No. And I spoke to her one time.
We can call the lawyer and find out whether Victoria talked to her or not.
That is fine.
And whether the lawyer told you that or not. Because I like to deal with facts.
Absolutely.
Because if you're all upset because she called a lawyer when in fact she hasn't even done that, then your face would be red, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. But that still does not change the fact that she has tried to manipulate Connor's brother into calling the attorney to get a home for them, when that is not what the money is for.
So that wouldn't exactly bring peace to the situation. If you're wrong, that would just be one thing you'd cross off.
Yes, that would be one, yes.
Are you a gold digger?
No, I didn't even know anything about the money when I met Connor. We were 4 months into our relationship, and it all came about because they were buying a house. And I said, your mom's not working, how do they have the money for that? And that's where it came up. And I was already with him. I was already in a relationship with him at that point.
Yeah.
I've already told him he can do whatever he wants with that money. I don't care about it. I've mentioned if you, in the future, when you do get it, if you're going to do anything smart with it, at least buy us a home.
She says you're bossy and controlling and manipulative and pushy and...
Bossy a little bit, but manipulative and conniving, absolutely not.
Yeah. So, how are you involved in their relationship so much?
I try to stay out of it. It is none of my business. It is really none of my business. Connor took his siblings and I to the doctor.
I'm just leaning back because if a lightning
please.
bolt's going to hit,
No, I mean, please.
You don't seem like a laid-back kind.
No, I'm not.
Let's talk.
Let's talk, please.
What do you think your capacity for insight is? What do you think your ability is to be objective about yourself?
I am objective about myself. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect mother. I have flaws. And any advice I give to them is life-learned advice.
Yeah.
No one gave it to me.
Do you think you might be kind of hard to leave alone?
No. I had 21 days of bliss in my life at 40 years old. 21 days of complete function.
Out of 40 years?
Out of 40 years, Dr.
Only
Phil.
21 days?
Only, and that's pathetic. I know that. I know that. No Connor's drama, no Victoria drama.
Was that like the first 3 weeks of your life? I mean, when was it? Was it when he was out of your...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it started the 1st of November, the week before Thanksgiving. And then I get a phone call to come here.
You seem pretty intense.
I'm very angry. I'm very upset.
Yeah. What are you upset about?
I'm upset about the fact that my son, who is a wonderful person, has a very large heart and can be whatever he wants to be, is being controlled and manipulated by his son's mother, tracked by phone devices where he is. She calls a 14-year-old minor to locate and track Connor.
That part's not true.
Really?
Tracking is yes, but getting someone else to track him, no.
Calling and asking them if Connor is there because his phone is cut off and he is 10 minutes late getting home from work, and I want to know if he is there.
Okay, what do you...
Because
I didn't say
readily
track
available.
Connor. Go track Connor. Get on the computer and track Connor. I've never said... I said, is Connor there at your house? That is what I've said.
Is Connor there at your house? His phone is off and he is 10 minutes late coming home from work, and I want to know where he is.
Yeah, why is that a problem? Asking where he's
Because you
at.
don't need to get a minor involved. You call her mother.
I don't have her mother's phone number. I only have hers.
How you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
All right. You got 2 women managing you pretty actively.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Okay, when we come back, we're going to find out why Connor says Megan kicked him out of the house when he was only 16. She says, no. I didn't kick him out. He left. We're going to find out what that's all about when we come back.
Connor got drunk and then blacked my husband's eyes. So Connor, being a baby that he was, he called Mimi and Papa to come and get him. So I said, fine. Let him go be powdered on the ass like he wants to be.
And later, did you grab her by the hair and drag her off the couch?
I snatched her up off the couch. Yes, I did.
I didn't even do anything.
So you decided to attack her?
Yes, sir, I did.
on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My greatest fear is my daughter's snapping one day and actually killing me.
Do you get violent?
I do not hit her.
She grabbed a huge bottle and threw it at me.
I didn't throw it at her.
You never know what's going to trigger her.
Correct.
Would you beating her up and kicking her? Would that have anything to do with it?
I have not done that. This is just very weird how it turned around on me.
Yeah, isn't it funny how that happens?
That's tomorrow.
When I used to live with my mother, she'd get so angry she would punch me across the jaw.
Connor's mother, Megan, is very violent. She has bitten her son and pulled me up by my hair off a couch while my son was in my lap. Megan attacked me and could have killed the baby. He was only a month old.
Imagine being 16 years old and your mother kicks you out of the house and says you're not welcome in this family anymore. Well, that's what Connor says happened 2 years ago. Mom Megan says, oh no. Connor behaved his way right out the door. Take a look.
My mother kicked me out of the house 2 years ago because I got in a fight with my stepdad.
Connor got drunk, and Connor then blacks my husband's eyes. So Connor, being a baby that he was, instead of manning up and accepting that what he had done was wrong, he called Mimi and Papa to come and get him. And they pretty much told me, we're taking guardianship, sign this. So I said, fine. Let him go be powdered on the ass like he wants to be.
The night Megan kicked Connor out of the house, she blocked Connor on Facebook and deleted his number.
Connor did not get kicked out of the house. Connor made a choice to move out. So, stay. Keep your drama over there. Misery loves company, and that's a household full of it.
Some things flew by here really fast, and I have to kind of just pump the brakes a second. You two got in a physical fight, the two of you?
No.
I wouldn't say it was a fight, but...
Well, did you grab her by the hair and drag her off the couch?
I snatched her up off the couch. Yes, I did. And Connor was right there telling her, Victoria, you need to sit down and shut your mouth. My mother was not addressing you. I was talking to the 13-year-old little girl that was there having cocktails with Victoria.
No, that's why the fight came about, because I was saying I did not give alcohol to a minor, and that's why you got mad. Basically mad because I'm saying I didn't give alcohol to a minor.
That's not what the minor says.
Well,
you were mixing cocktails up for...
How was I mixing when everyone came in the house and I had a baby on my lap? How am I in the kitchen
You didn't have the baby,
stuff?
Victoria.
The baby was sitting in my lap.
No, the baby was not.
Was the baby in my lap?
Yeah.
But you did grab her by the hair and snatch her up off the couch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you people raised by wolves? What are you doing? Why are you grabbing her by the hair and snatching her up off the couch? Play this out for me. You've got her by the hair.
Yes.
She's off the couch. You're telling her to shut your mouth. Then what?
And that was it.
What do you do?
I plopped her back on the couch and told her to shut up. No, Connor did not put his hands on me, Victoria. No, you did not, Connor.
I did. I wouldn't say I just grabbed my mom in particular. I got in between them.
Thank you.
To stop it.
I didn't even do anything. I didn't even know it had happened until after she had picked me up by my hair. I didn't even know what had happened until she did that.
Maybe because we consumed half a bottle of black cherry rum?
No, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't remember anything that happened if I did that.
Her and the young girl. The bottle hadn't even been opened yet.
So you were stone cold sober?
Absolutely.
So you had all your faculties about you?
Yes, sir.
When you decided to attack her?
Yes, sir, I did. Was it wrong? I will gladly admit it was wrong. Did I overreact? You're right, I did. But Victoria has these tendencies to cause scenes.
She has a tendency to cause scenes.
I will make a scene. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
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 I'm a bitch, and I'll gladly say it.
Can we go back to you? You're blacking your stepfather?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, you punched him in the face?
I did.
Why?
I got mad, and I started hollering and stuff like that, and I went to the house, slammed the door, and Shannon came into the house saying, well, if you want to start hollering at everybody, you can yell at me, you big boy. Going just like this, just in my face. So I kept pushing him back. I pushed him back about 2 or 3 times in the front yard, and he lunged towards me, and I yanked him, threw him around to the garage, and I hit him 3 times, exactly, 3 times.
Well, Megan says her mother is enabling Victoria and Connor and needs to stop. So we're going to meet her next, see what she has to say about all this chaos. We'll be right back.
I cannot wait for the day that the burning heat of hell grips my mother by the bottom of her feet as she's taking her last breath.
Megan's always telling me what a horrible, horrible mother I was, but she's the one that is mean and vicious.
And later, you're just spewing venom, everything.
Because
you don't
I have a lot of venom in me.
But you don't talk, you spit words out.
Because I have a lot of anger in me. Yes, I do, Dr. Phil.
This February.
The woman accused of pushing her husband to his death.
I'm a horrible person who could do that.
The stakes are higher.
Your daughter's saying there was a struggle. He stumbled and fell backwards. Did you push him out that window?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Emotions run deeper.
You're very critical of the woman that has adopted your baby.
She looks like a stripper. Olivia's been stalking me.
Bring the restraining order. I'll show you where you blatantly lied in it. Bring it.
You're in her face saying, you lie, you lie, you lie.
She's a saint. We're the bad people. Is that what you're telling me?
Tempers get hotter.
Our neighbors make our life a living hell.
They set a mortar shell under the swing set and tried to blow it up.
That is not true. We are being harassed.
Put her on the lie detector test.
And I want you to do one too because the machine is gonna blow up.
And we're just getting started.
I had a traumatized 3-year-old girl saying, my daddy hurt me. Where is he gonna hurt you at?
A child does not say those things unless she was coached.
You cannot coach a 3-year-old. Ask anyone.
That is coaching.
I came here to help my daughter, and you turned this into a giant circus.
I'm done.
My mother has enabled Connor by allowing Victoria and Connor to stay with her for as long as they have. She pays for the baby's diapers, gets the baby's wipes. Connor and Victoria's room is filthy. The baby's room is disgusting, and my mother is unable to get up and clean the house as she once could. Victoria and Connor, they need to get out of my mother's house and grow up and do what everybody else has done when they have had children. Do it on your own.
Well, when Connor was 16, he says his mother, Megan, kicked him out of the house and he moved in with his grandma, Bonnie. She says, no, no, no. He behaved his way out of that house. He made the choice. But now 2 years later, Connor and his girlfriend and their 6-month-old baby are all living under her mother, Bonnie's roof. Now, Megan says she is so angry at her mother for taking them in that she says she can't wait for her to die and feel the flames of hell burning at the bottom of her feet. Bonnie says she's never had a good relationship with her daughter, Megan. Take a look.
My mother, Bonnie, she is a bitch. She will do anything to spite me. I cannot wait for the day that the burning heat of hell grips her by the bottom of her feet as she's taking her last breath.
Megan's always telling me what a horrible, horrible mother I was, but she's the one that is mean and vicious.
My mother, on a regular basis, doesn't get out of her pajamas. Connor was living with her when he dropped out of school. She did not force him to go to school. My mother is just as crazy as Victoria.
The thing that makes me mad the most about Megan is her telling vicious lies about Victoria. Victoria is a kind, beautiful, sweet girl. Megan was never half the girl that Victoria was at Victoria's age. Last time I told Megan that she needed to stay out of Victoria and Connor's business, she left me the most horrible, horrible message.
I hate you. You're a mean, belligerent bitch.
I am sick and tired of my mother undermining me with my child.
Even though Megan treats me very poorly, I still love her and would love to have a relationship if she would please get on some medication, whatever she has to do.
I do not want a relationship with my mother. There is nothing to rekindle, so I'm done with her. She can kiss my ass.
Why do you two not get along?
I don't know.
You just don't have a clue?
I don't have a clue. It's Megan's philosophy.
We've known her whole life. I mean,
her philosophy on things is it's my way or the highway. And if I give her my opinion about her actions or anything she's doing, she goes off like she did in that voicemail.
Mother, don't you ever call me. Don't you ever show up around my kids. You keep your trifling away from me. I hate you. I hate you.
Can I explain that voicemail? Connor?
I thought it was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but as up to what pushed me to that point, Connor picked at 2:35 on a Tuesday, picked me, his sister, and his brother up. His sister had been vomiting, had diarrhea, and 104.9 fever that particular morning.
Should have went to the hospital.
Connor came to pick me up to take them to the doctor. The whole time from the time we get there, she's calling, cussing him out. What? You can't stop? I'm sitting here hungry. You could have come and got me something to eat the whole time. And Connor is, Victoria, chill out. I'm taking them to the doctor. The appointment is in 5 minutes. Am I correct, Connor?
Yep.
So we get to the doctor's appointment. The whole time at the doctor's appointment, Victoria is calling him. I'm packing up all your shoes and I'm going to Plato's Closet and I'm selling them. And I wanted to go do things that I wanted to do. And you need to get your ass home to watch the baby now. Well, my thinking is you've never had a problem letting my mother watch the baby. What the hell's the difference now? Connor's going to be home in a little bit. So he's getting screamed at. So finally I call my mother. Mom, what is going on? Victoria is screaming at Connor. And my mother's like, I don't know. All I know is you're taking up Victoria's time with Connor for the day, and you need to get your together and take care of your own kids. And then I blew up. You're going to be that inconsiderate that your other 2 grandchildren are ill? And I'm taking Victoria's time away from Connor? Last time I checked, family helps family out, and there are emergencies in some cases.
If they were that sick, he wouldn't have gone shopping.
We were waiting on medicine, thank you. I've ridden this rodeo a lot more than you have.
She's a bitch, and she's a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'll say it. I'm a bitch.
You say that as though it's a virtue. Question.
Absolutely.
What those 2 are saying to each other, what business is that of yours?
When I can hear them and I'm sitting in the car with them and I can hear it, I think that becomes my business.
But this is his relationship.
You're absolutely right. So keep your mouth shut when you're around me and keep it to yourself. Don't involve me by me being able to hear the conversation.
Oh, no, he didn't involve you just because you could overhear it. If I'm in a restaurant, somebody hears me say something to my wife, that doesn't mean I involve them.
He gets in the
They
car.
just heard it.
No, he gets in the car and he's like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, so he involved you.
Absolutely.
Then you sent a text message to Victoria.
No, I didn't. Absolutely, I don't have her number. She was texting my foster son, and my foster son was replying back, and she was like, okay, Megan, whatever, Megan, okay, Megan. He proceeded to answer, and at the end of the...
So you didn't send her a text message?
From his phone after she had been accusing him on multiple times. I unloaded on a text message.
Well, so when you said no, you meant yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you sent this to Victoria. You said, this is Megan. That's how I knew.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yeah. I did say I sent it.
This is Megan, you selfish bitch. I was at the doctor. Do you want me to take a picture of the doctor's release so that you know Connor was not...
screwing around.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my mom. Leave all of us...
The hell alone.
The hell alone. Thank you for cleaning that up. And if you're dying or somebody is sick and dying, don't
call me.
Don't blank and call me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't want to be involved with the drama anymore. Leave me out of it.
You don't want to be involved in the drama. You thrive on drama.
No, I haven't.
You live for drama. You are drama.
The drama is right here. It's nowhere else. I don't have it with my husband. I don't have it with my other children.
I'm guessing you would argue with a statue.
The apple doesn't fall far from the apple tree, Dr. Phil.
She's a bitch, and she's a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'll say it. I'm a bitch.
You say that as though it's a virtue.
Do you know what? I've had to be a bitch.
No, you haven't. It's a way to protect yourself.
Well, yeah, I've had to protect myself from her all these years.
Well, I'm sorry if that's the way it was. That's not the way I remember anything.
I remember it very well. Connor has witnessed you saying ugly, mean things to me.
You said she was hateful and belittling and tick. Aren't you in her image? If that's what you say she was, that's why I ask you about insight. I mean, you're just spewing venom. You're just everything.
Because
you don't
I have a lot of venom in me.
But you don't talk. You spit words out.
Because I have a lot of anger in me. Yes, I do, Dr. Phil. A lot of anger. A lot.
But that comes from the inside out. And, you know, here comes Victoria. And, yeah, she may not be perfect, but I just can't believe she's the vile bitch that she's getting credit for.
Mother, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we not have a conversation back in October where you specifically said, oh, my gosh, Victoria's mouth is over the edge. I don't understand it.
Victoria can be mouthy. I admit that, and she will admit that. And that particular day, I don't believe that Victoria was being mouthy at me.
But did you give her a chance? You said the very first time you met her, you said to yourself, is she ever going to shut up?
Yes, she answered for Connor. I asked Connor, we were sitting at the table. So, Connor, how are you liking your new school? Oh, he likes his school just fine.
How dare you?
I don't remember that, but okay.
All right, Bonnie says Victoria is the sweetest girl and will make a beautiful bride. We'll find out what Megan has to say about a wedding for these teenagers. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Why is her daughter so violent?
Do you get violent?
I do not hit her.
Do you degrade her?
No.
Oh, really? What does she call you?
Can I say it? She calls me a...
That's tomorrow.
Closed captioning provided by...
No junk food, please.
Go for the Trumu! It's delicious!
And nutritious, with no artificial growth hormones.
Trumu, a truly good thing.
I'm not allowed to do anything without Victoria.
Connor has to realize that he has a baby and a fiance, and he needs to tell me where he goes and what he does.
If I come home from work and decide to take a different route, she follows me on my iPhone and she texts me wondering where I'm at.
I have this app that allows me to track Connor.
Sometimes I think Victoria acts a lot like my mother.
Don't believe I'd have said that. Connor says when his mom found out that he and Victoria were having a baby, she hit the roof. She accused Victoria of trapping her son because she says Victoria found out months before she got pregnant that Connor has a big inheritance coming his way. Victoria said they even recently got engaged. Or did they? Take a look.
Whether she likes it or not, Megan is going to be my mother-in-law. Connor and I got engaged in September of this year. He took me to the store and told me to pick out a ring, and we were engaged from there.
Victoria thinks we're engaged, but I'm not so sure if we are or we aren't. Technically, I guess we would be because I got the ring for her and I gave it to her, but it was never an official proposal. I did not ask Victoria to marry me. I might have second thoughts.
Whoa. That sounds like news to you. So the first part of that tape, you say he took you...
Okay, we discussed it before, so it's okay.
Says you went to the store, got a ring, you were engaged.
I just assume that if you're getting me a ring, everyone's going to assume you're getting engaged if you're getting someone a ring. I mean, it's just an assumption. And then, I mean, we put it on Facebook, so that's another one.
So do you not want to marry the mother of your child?
I love her to death, and I would marry her. I just think that we do argue too much, and we do have a couple of things that we should take care of before we make a giant step, and before we do that, and before we do get married.
I think it's very responsible to say there are things we need to resolve and deal with, and I think that it's very important that you go through a whole premarital process, premarital counseling, where you do have to talk about and come to some common ground on what your vision is for the marriage.
See, I would love to do that.
What you expect all these things to be, because paperwork won't solve it. You got to solve it before the paperwork. And do you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But you You just want to get to it, right?
Well,
let's get into it. Let's get it done.
I guess I'm just fear of losing him. Easier, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But do you want to do that?
Oh, yeah, of course I would do that. I would do it in a heartbeat.
I can even arrange for you to do it right in the comfort of your own home.
That would be great.
We can do it over Doctor on Demand, where you got a computer right there. You can sit right in front of them, and you could have a doctor-level therapist right there that can walk you through it, discuss this with you, give you things you need to work out for the next session.
Well, that's awesome, yes.
Would you like to do that? That's one of the things we'll do. All right, coming up, Megan says her grandson is not being taken care of properly, and she's even threatened to call Child Protective Services. And Bonnie says she has given the kids a deadline to move out. Is she sticking with that, or is she kind of waffling on it? We'll talk about that next.
I love the baby, but I am 67. I weigh 85 pounds, and the baby weighs almost 20 now, and I have emphysema. It's hard for me to care for a young baby. My husband and I were hoping to have a nice, quiet retirement, and everything's just been put on hold. What I'm doing, Megan should be doing. It's almost like she doesn't love the baby.
I got a phone call from my mother in reference to social services showing up at their house. I was accused of calling them. I did not. I asked Victoria why they were called out. She told me because she had placed her hand over the baby's mouth because the baby would not stop crying and she was unsure as to what to do. As a parent, that set red flags that there was something unstable there.
Well, Connor and his fiancée, Victoria, and their 6-month-old son live with 67-year-old grandmother, Bonnie. Now, Connor's mother, Megan, says Bonnie needs to kick them to the curb and let them make their own mistakes. Do you think you're easy to get along with or hard to get along with?
It depends on the situation.
One thing I know about anger is that it's an outward manifestation of at least 3 other things. Hurt, fear, and frustration.
Absolutely.
All of those things, if they're expressed, those are vulnerabilities. But anger, on the other hand, is a more defensive posture. It's a more protective posture. Whereas hurt, fear, and frustration is kind of leading with your chin, where you can get yourself wounded even further. And so people default to anger because it seems to be more protective. But it gets really tiresome going through life like this.
Absolutely.
It just gets really tiresome. And I hate that for you.
I'm exhausted from it.
That's a burden I would really like to see you able to lay down. And as a result, I would really offer to get you some professional help with this too. Not help you in your relationship with her, not help you in your relationship with him, not help you in relationship with your mother, but just let you be totally selfish on your own behalf. If it benefits everybody else along it, great. That'd be super. But I would just like to be one person in your life that looked past all the anger and the barking and said, I want to help the person that's behind that and get you some help with this. Would you accept that?
Absolutely.
Gift from me?
Absolutely.
Because if you will, I want to arrange that. And
that would be wonderful.
And I'll do that. And then if that impacts how you deal with these people, great. And if not, then at least you're happy even if you're sitting out in the woods by yourself. I mean, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah. And the entire time you've been here, that's the first time you've genuinely smiled since you got here.
Yes.
And it's really becoming to you.
Thank you.
When you do. All right, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Fair enough? Okay. All right. All right, next, a marriage problem so serious the husband was not sleeping on the couch, not in another bedroom, but in the bathtub. You're going to want to hear this and why when we come back. Thanks. Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. You know, some of us think it's funny, some of us hate it, and everyone does it a little differently. What is it? Well, let's take a listen. Well, joining me is my good friend, Dr. Freda Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
I bet a lot of people can relate to that video, and my son Jordan's dog was in there. Her name is Pig, and boy, is she a loud snorer. I mean, she snores like crazy. So, Doc, what causes snoring?
Yeah, so snoring is caused in a very straightforward way. So when air passes the tissues in the throat, that air during breathing causes those tissues to vibrate. Now, a lot of people do think that snoring is just noisy and a nuisance, but it can be serious. It can cause everything from unrefreshed sleep to very serious health consequences. Now, men are more affected by snoring than women are, right. And people who are over 40 and overweight tend to more commonly be snorers as well.
Right.
In the U.S., there are 90 million adults that are affected by snoring.
My next guest says her husband's snoring is so loud, she had to move out of their bedroom. Take a look at this.
Manny's snoring is so loud that I cannot get any sleep. On a scale of 1 to 10, his snoring is a 10 every night.
Deb says I have a snoring problem, but I don't think I do.
Whenever I sleep with Manny, I don't feel rested. I will feel groggy and even grouchy.
When she gets grouchy, she's hard to deal with. She gets irritable. It's not fun for either one of us.
I drive a Mustang, and I would compare Manny's snoring to the sound of my muffler.
She's definitely exaggerating when she says my snoring's as loud as her Mustang. I can't be that loud.
His snoring is so out of control that we sleep in separate rooms.
You miss the cuddling and the touching and the feeling and whatnot.
Manny is in denial. He's a smoker, and he will hide it from me. He thinks he's fooling everybody, but he's not.
I can't blame her.
I believe his snoring has gotten worse, and I need to fix the snoring problem now.
I'm sure I'm going to die of something, but I'd rather die rested.
Okay. Well, Manny and Deb are joining us now, so welcome. And Manny, we heard from Deb that your snoring bothers her. She thinks I have a problem, but I don't think I have a problem. Are you deaf?
Well, I don't hear it when I'm sleeping. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I know it bothers her, but and that really concerns me most because when Mama's not happy, nobody's happy, so.
Well, but that's like a child coming to their parent in the night and saying, Mommy, Daddy, I'm thirsty, and you wake up and go, well, I'm not. Go back to bed.
Right.
Well, you're not thirsty, so they go back to bed. You're not hearing it, so it's not a problem. It is a problem. It's keeping you awake, right?
It is. It shakes the walls. It shakes the walls. My biggest concern, though, is when he's snoring, there's times he actually stops breathing.
Yeah.
And then he'll, like, cough and start breathing again.
So, Dr. Freda, you mentioned that snoring can mean health risks. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. And it's not just a health risk to the snorer. It can also be the snoree, if you would. I just made that up. Like Deb, who's kept awake by the snoring. So let me start with Deb. So these repeated nights of disturbed sleep can lead to a whole host of issues. Increased risk for car accidents to depression. So it's really important to address that part. But for the snorer, it's also a signal. or could be a signal. So studies tell us that snoring may be a serious risk factor for heart attacks and for stroke. And for both of you, the fact that you're really not getting a good night's sleep means that you could suffer from daytime drowsiness, which is dangerous for you, but may also be dangerous for the people who are around you.
So when should we be concerned about snoring?
Deb raised a big red flag, and that is this gasping or choking for breath during sleep. That's an important thing to notice. This may be a symptom of obstructive sleep apnea, and this is a condition in which during sleep, breathing is repeatedly interrupted by either shallow breathing or by full stopping for brief periods. Now, this is important because these interruptions in breathing may lead to low blood oxygen. And apnea has been seen as a risk factor for heart attacks, for stroke, and for diabetes. And so I would say observe and record.
Yes, ma'am.
Restless sleep, like is he sleeping soundly or is he moving around a lot? Insomnia, having a hard time getting to sleep. Daytime drowsiness or daytime sleepiness. Decreases in interest in sex. Increases in forgetfulness or changes in mood. If any of these things are happening, to Manny, but also to anybody who's listening, this deserves telling your doctor right away.
Okay. And what can he do to help her, and himself, for that matter?
Yeah, so there are a few things. Stop smoking. Right. That's an important one. Avoiding alcohol is also important, and sleeping on your side may decrease it. And I think both of you should see your doctor, take all of the information, and then get a plan for addressing your lack of sleep and making sure that you're in good health, and to address your issues as well, to see if you've increased your risk for any of those very serious health issues.
All right.
And I'm going to wish you both sweet dreams. Of course, there's lots of information on GetHealthyStayHealthy.com if anyone wants more information about snoring.
Yeah, you bet. Look, we want to hear from you, so go to drphil.com, send us your questions. I love it when you're here to talk about this stuff. I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Freda Lewis Hall. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Good to see you. And I do it too. I do it too. See you guys. Thanks. Guys, thanks so much. See ya.